responsibility.
I was going to say that because, right, we just talked about mindset just now, and really it comes down to mindset, and that's what we have to address, because we need leaders, people who are willing to set the example, right, of sustainable living. Right now, we've placed style over substance. We value convenience. Now, we hear these terms like convenience kills. And when you really study it, you can validate that statement. But are we really thinking about that? Now, we have a huge challenge that we're not really thinking about most things, right? I was having a conversation with my daughter just a few days ago, and I told her that if you're not leading, then you're being led. Now, that's a very important thing, right? Most of us are being herded. We don't even know what we like. We just like what other people like,
or what we think
other people like. We just do what it appears that everybody else is doing. And you know how you check that? If you go up to somebody and you ask them, like, why did you get that? And they would look at you like almost like, what do you mean? No, why did you get that? And they said, what, you don't like it? No, I didn't ask you if I like it. Do you like it? You know, and it proves that we're just doing things. We're just become programmed into behaviors, despite the fact, or whether those behaviors make sense or not.
All right.
So we need some new leadership in terms of positive examples.
I have 3 calls on the line. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Eugene.
Greetings.
Glad.
How you doing?
Mr. Vaucrosson.
Good evening.
Mr. Vaucrosson, what was your comment you just made about MPs?
Say that again, sorry. What was the comment you just made about MPs?
About members of parliament.
What I was trying to say is that, which part? Because I've been saying a bunch of different things.
That they were doing whatever they were doing for personal gain.
No,
I don't think that's what he said. Go ahead. You defend yourself.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is the way the structure is now. The fact is that one's way of life, one's way of living, is dependent on their political career.
So you're saying that the people that are in Parliament are doing that for personal gain?
No, their livelihood. Their livelihood's dependent on it.
Their livelihood is dependent on it. How could you make that statement?
Well, if you look at some of the people that were in that particular position, they've benefited from being in politics more so than they were prior.
An example? I think that's a very damning statement that you made, that their livelihood depends on that they're in politics for political gain. That's what you're saying.
Well, I think you're actually contorting what I'm saying.
Financial gain, I should say.
Well, I think I'll jump in right here and say this: is that
can you listen through your television, please?
Yeah, I'm not. My television's not on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to hang up though.
Okay, let me just say this: that Greenrock and the Emperial Group. Is the Emperial Group a...
as quickly as possible, ma'am. Is
the Imperial Group a public relations thing for Greenrock, or are they in it because they're concerned about the environment? That's all I want to know.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Well, as Imperial Group, we're social entrepreneurs, which means that we build enterprise around, right, community needs, right, and environmental needs, right? We build our enterprise with those things in mind. We're not just business driven, you know? And Greenrock, as I stated clearly earlier, is good to raise awareness around issues about sustainability and the environment with the main purpose of changing mindsets, like my shirt says, you know? So just for anybody who wasn't clear on those things.
All right, go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, good evening to all. My question is about the concept of sustainable development and that office that's related to mindset of the population. How can we go about changing the mindset of Bermudians so that we become the lobbyists and basically make the sustainable development policy on their holistic levels be the mandatory policy set up to direct governance?
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, first of all, the government already has a sustainable development plan in place, and so if you are familiar with that, that will allow you to sort of at least frame the discussion, and they are actually trying to implement certain actions in order to reach certain objectives. The one thing that I would say as an individual that you can empower yourself with is that every time you go to a cash register, you're voting. Whatever you purchase, whatever you do with your funds is basically your vote. So if you really want to sort of help push the cause, is to try to encourage people to do exactly that.
Okay, go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, yes, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Now, I would have to agree that, yes, of course, there's a lot of things government can do, but we have to lead by example. I mean, it always starts with personal responsibility. So if I wish somebody to behave in a certain way, I need to behave in that way myself. The problem is, though, that, we are profit-seeking, but is profit, but what do we mean by profit? The fact is, instant gratification is instant because it comes instantly and it leaves just as instantly. We have short-term thinking here, and the way to get people to change behaviors is to actually have it affect their profit, i.e., people were encouraged to recycle in the States by bringing in bottles for 5 cents. People in other countries are penalized for putting out non-recyclable garbage based on occupancy levels. So what the government can do is enact policies which hit the pocketbook, while the rest of us can either join government and help affect that change or act the way we want other people to. Because, I mean, at least with the gentleman sitting here, they all walk the talk. And until people start, seeing people do what they say they're going to do, they're not going to change, and it's going to take time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Vote of support for you guys. Has Greenrock any plans to encourage grocery stores and large establishments to use less packaging and more environmentally friendly packaging products? Could we please stress that biodegradable items are only smart if we let them biodegrade?
Well, one of the things I would say is that several of the grocery stores were appealing to, obviously the bag, reusable bag was one step. Some are embracing it far quicker than others. The other thing is the whole consumer trend in the United States is occurring, which is pushing the whole idea of less packaging. The biggest challenge we have is everything's shipped here. So my encouragement is to go buy local. There's a lot of great markets that are emerging around. As I've been saying, is sometimes, buy things seasonally. You don't have to have certain types of fruits when it's not in season. Create variety.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, sir.
This is very interesting.
You're gonna have to be quick.
In 1953, I was called in to one of the largest, if not the largest, distributing import company in the country, asking me why was I interested in certain items, which happened to be a plastic situation. I asked the proprietor at the given time, why are you bringing in all of this plastic, which is going to be a detriment to us in the future? And he said, what do you know about plastic, and why do you care? That was the attitude then, and still is. A capitalist, free enterprise society breeds survival of the fittest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
And I'm glad he mentioned plastics because we're surrounded by water. And one thing that we're not aware of is the impact of plastics on our marine environment. Now, we recently had a boat come here that's traveling all around the world researching marine plastics and the impact on the environment. They found more trash on our beaches than anywhere else they went in the world because we're getting plastic waste from the U.S. and Europe, right? What they're also finding is where the oceans meet and you have the currents, it's like a whirlwind, is a super plastic. So they're finding fish with plastic in them. Big fish eat little fish. We eat big fish. So eventually, the plastic will be on our plates. The situation has become very dread, and we have some other programs, and we're looking to release some more information about that as well.
We have like 1 minute left. Can you each give us a quick wrap-up?
Give them the calendar in terms of what
well,
we're doing.
Well, again, I'll just encourage everyone to come out to Harbor Nights on the 19th. We're going to be showing an environmental film, and we're going to be having a debate, a national debate on the environment on the 27th of the month, 7 p.m. at Heritage worship center. So
Is
And
there
how
any
can
more?
people get in contact with Greenrock?
Greenrock.org, or you can call us at 747-7625, and we're going to actually post the calendar activities on our site.
on the website.
So you'll see